So this is your first collaboration with Wes Anderson. Have you been a fan of his movies over the years?
Yes. I mean, even I remember on the set of Fight Club, Brad Pitt and I were so obsessed with Bottle Rocket that we kept trying to hide lines from Bottle Rocket inside Fight Club scenes. And
Is that right?
Fincher kept busting us and going, "I know what that is. Don't do it." And but there's a notable moment in Fight Club that's a poach from Bottle Rocket that
Is that right?
it's kind of always been a secret of me and Brad. We told Wes about it, but nobody else.
Nobody knows about it, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to go back down and see if I can track it down.
But I wrote Wes a letter after Rushmore because I thought, to me that was a very exciting moment when we were all first coming up in movies. I thought it was such an original and wonderful film that I really wanted to celebrate it, and we've kind of had a correspondence ever since, and so we've known each other a while. But it was exciting.
Yeah.
To hook up.
And he likes to work with a regular cast a lot of times. Obviously Bill Murray and Jason Schwartzman and some of the other folks. I mean, do you see yourself collaborating with him again in the future? Is that something you're open to?
I would never presume to say, because Wes is such the author of his worlds. I think it always has to fit, but the experience of working with him was such a total pleasure on every level. It was, I think, I don't know almost anybody who's worked with Wes who wouldn't do it again in a heartbeat, myself included. And I think any time it fits for him, he knows I'm there.
You're really known as a more dramatic actor, serious. I know you've done
That's a smoochie for sure.
Well, of course,
among my most dramatic.
Of course, and obviously you have done some lighter work in the past. But how do you approach? This isn't a full-out comedy. It's more of there's no other way to explain it than like a Wes Anderson movie. That's really,
yeah. No, I agree. I don't think of Wes's films as comedies.
No.
Because there are almost unfailingly moments in every one of Wes's movies that make me tear up. You know what I mean? I watched Royal Tenenbaums maybe a month or two ago, having not seen it in a number of years, and I teared up twice watching it. He has these. What he does is so unique in the sense that he creates characters who initially you're laughing with or maybe even at, and then he kind of comes in and clubs you with the fact that he's made you care a lot about the heartbreak these people are experiencing or the alienation they're feeling, and then when they have their little moments of grace, you realize you really wanted this to happen for them. I feel, and I think that I associate his movies more with characters who are on the outside wanting to belong to something, and I think I think the kind of almost now international community of people who love his films and kind of can't wait for the next time they get to go back into them has much more to do with people relating to that feeling of love of these lovable outsiders than it does with comedy per se. You know what I mean? I think, and so I think you're right. It's like it's more that he's created this little world that people look forward to dipping back into again.
All right, they're wrapping me up, but I got to go.
Okay.
One last question: how would Ed Norton be as a Boy Scout troop leader?
I think I'd be okay. But I have to say, I kind of like on the film, when we were making the film, Wes was definitely the camp counselor. It's like everybody gets suited up and they come in and he kind of says, okay, here's where our hike today is going. We're going to take that hill. You know what I mean? And so I kind of actually liked being led more than leading.
All right. Thank you so much. Good
Thanks,
luck with
man.
the movie.
You too.